stolen. The thief also took some of my personal possessions. Actually, a couple of quite pricey items. That a couple of them are commissioned from other people around the area of Flan and a couple other cities, but namely, there was a horn, an ancient device called the Horn of Blasting, and that was stolen from me. That was stolen from my office. It wasn't in this display case, but it was actually stolen as well. There were a couple of pretty pricey scrolls as well. There was a fireball scroll stolen. And these don't have as much significance as the Horn of Blasting. The Horn of Blasting is actually a significant and very valuable item. There was a scroll of fireball that was stolen, a scroll of detect magic, and also a scroll of hold person. But the scrolls they were going to go to the Lord Sage, but unfortunately. The Lord Sage isn't going to get them, and now I have to delay. So if you can find those scrolls and the Horn of Blasting, I would be very appreciative of you finding those.
Guys, I suspect that if someone had the knowledge to break this rune, that they probably have the knowledge to use these items as well.
Yeah, and my friends, I'm so sorry, but I didn't tell you the truth, because if the Lord Sage found out that there was more than just a book stolen and this Horn of Blasting and all of these other scrolls, I almost would think that the Lord Sage would probably, use that as an excuse to have me return, all of this documentation back that I've been studying, and I don't want to lose that commission. It's a very appealing commission financially for me. And I just didn't want that word to get out, and I'm sorry I was dishonest to all of you. I've got such a large amount of time invested into this already, and it's unfortunately I just wasn't able to keep everything safe. But they trust me at the library, and this is diminishing my trust to them, and I just want to keep this between us, and if we could find the scrolls in the Horn of Blasting, even though the Horn of Blasting isn't theirs, that's mine. I just don't want them thinking that, any kind of thug or thief is just going to be able to waltz right in and steal everything, because I won't be able to get any more commissions from Mantor's library, and I need those commissions to survive.
Is this Horn of Blasting as dangerous as it sounds?
It sure is. She walks over to a sketching that she has, a beautiful color sketching, and she shows you what the Horn of Blasting looks like, and this is what it looks like. It's a long flute-like type of device with a big line set on the end. And she says, yes, there's when you activate when you speak the horn's command word and you blow the horn, it emits this thunderous blast, and it will decimate any enemy in its path, including items as well. It will destroy glass vials. It's a thunderous item. It packs quite a punch. But there's also a chance that this thing could blow up as well. Anyone that speaks the command word, there's a percentage chance that the horn could explode. It's a very volatile item.
Well, that's how magic goes. There's always
yes, it is. It is. Especially if you roll a critical fumble on your Dungeon Master's new chart, and you can actually take 3d6 per circle of the magic item. So if you have a +3 item, you're going to take 18d6 damage from that thing exploding. Oh, your Dungeon Master's pretty ruthless.
I don't suppose you know the command word.
Of course I do. It is whatever you want it to be. You guys can make it up if you want. And plus,
Well,
with a ritual,
this-
you can always change the command word anyway once you attune yourself with the item itself.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yes. But if you get it, be very careful. Don't blow it, because if that thing explodes, I won't have that anymore. And that's just for in case of emergencies.
Omi's having grand thoughts of blowing it.
I don't mind if you do. It don't matter to me.
Markesh is gonna change the command words to I fucking hate spoons. Shout it at the top of your lungs. That's what my goal will be. But anyhow, any other clues that we can figure out of where the hell this, where do we look next, kind of thing?
I don't know.
Is what I'll look to the group.
I have no clue. I think there were a couple other items stolen as well, but as far as I know, this book on the spell weave, I believe there was a strand of thefts, and mine was the first to be stolen. Well, not mine, but Mantor's Library book was the first one to be stolen. But
well, guys, the next thing to do would be kind of check down the next clues that we've got. Unless you've got anything else that you want to buy or ask him.
Nope,
yeah, anything
I think
spell related you can get here, scrolls, all kinds of stuff.
Well, I see you have a lot of scrolls here, so I may be back at some point to buy something.
Oh, money always talks in here, my friend.
Well, Markesh, where to next?
Oh, Martin sounds like a pretty good time.
Yeah, he runs that Martin, he runs a practice yard. You that you can go in there for a gold piece, and anybody can go in there with a gold piece, and as long as they show a desire to learn how to swing a sword, they can bang away on dummies and chunks of wood and stone if you're going to use a bludgeoning weapon. And for another gold, you can actually have someone keep an actual watchful eye on you to show you what you're doing wrong or help you out for a little bit.
I'd pay for Omi to get some shooting lessons.
He's got some dummies there for crossbows. He's got all kinds of little, hay stuffed kobolds and goblins as you guys are walking up to the practice yard, and you can see that there's all kinds of people out there training. He's making money hand over fist on this.
Well, Markesh, this looks like your kind of place.
Yeah. And that, Martin, you guys have been in Flan for a long time. You know that Martin Foss, he is an old retired adventurer as well. He's been in, stories of him and Undermountain and all these other, very dangerous places he's been to, and he's survived. And as you guys are coming up to the yard, you can hear all of these, shouts and, banging of steel on steel, and you can hear arrows hitting targets, and, you can see a couple people shouting at the others in the yard for doing something wrong, and you can see Martin Foss, he's standing there, a middle-aged dwarf. He's basically propping himself up on one of the wooden stumps there that no one's attacking. And it looks like he also has an amputated arm as well. And then there's all kinds of walkways and chairs and tables and all kinds of racks of weapons. And there's all kinds of people, leaning over, trying to catch their breath. There's people sparring and dueling. And as you guys come into the yard, he looks at you and he says, come, you about to book one of these targets, I suppose?
I'll look over at Omi and ask him if he wants some practice.
Yeah, and it's part of the day.
I wouldn't mind some practice.
It's midday.
How about you, Darg? You up for any practice?
Nice. There's all kinds of
good.
smells of metals, smells of unwashed bodies that are sweating all over the place, smells of oiled metal, dust. You know, you can see all kinds of, like I said, people sparring and whatnot, all kinds of grunts and shouting and challenges.
I'll flip him 2 coins to get Omi some lessons in crossbow shooting.
Sure. He says,
why, thank you, Marcus.
we'll take your money. He says, he looks down at his arm and he says, obviously, I'm not going to be the one that's going to be showing you how to shoot that crossbow, but I've got just Go ahead.
I said, my only request is that he stops shooting me while I'm up front.
Oh, you've been shot before by this lad?
Yeah, that's why I needed that donut. He needed it now. That's a much longer story.
I don't even think I'm going to ask, my friend. But I've got just the woman for you to show you how to shoot that crossbow. And
out she comes.
Yeah. All of a sudden,
that same old half.
God, that would be awesome. Because in the yard, you can hear some yelling and beckons and challenging, and you can see a single half-orcish woman that's wielding a pair of hand axes, and she looks rather familiar to you, Omi. She is the half-orc that was spooning with you the other morning. And Martin Foss, he calls her name, and she says, I've got a job for you. Take care of that really quick. So within the flash of an eye, she's taking these hand axes and just tripping everybody and knocking them down. And she's not hurting anybody. She's just taking the blunt side of the axe and just knocking them out and stuff. And then she stands up, kind of wipes off all of the dust. And then she looks at you and kind of gives you a big wave. And she says, oh, it's Omi. Hi, Omi. With her big gruffy voice. And looks like she could definitely hold her own, and she comes walking over to you.
I grab Omi by the back and just throw him forward towards her. She's all yours. Just make sure he can shoot by the time you're done with him.
Oh no, not again.
She'll take great care of you, Mr. Omi. What's her name, by the way, Omi?
Brunhilde.
There you go.
Brunhilde, get over here and take care of Omi here. She kind of chuckles and she says, I've already taken care of him once. I'll take care of him again. I love Omi. And then Martin says, oh, you two know one another.
On his face.
It'll be okay, lad, as he smacks you on the rear end where your padding is. She'll take good care of you. He smacks you on the hiney as you walk over towards the dummies. And Omi and her start to do some practicing. So Martin, he's a middle-aged dwarf. He's well-groomed, got a long black beard and trims. It's got some rings in it and whatnot. And he says, so all of you here to practice as well?
No,
I've got plenty of
little bit
trained
extra
fighters.
Looking for a book that was stolen 4 days back. A memoir of Ren, if I remember correctly.
Oh, good old Ren. Yes, absolutely. I'm a huge connoisseur of stories of Ren. He was one of the most famous people of that's ever lived in Flan. Give me you guys are talking to Omi's off, so Markish, Shen, and Darg. Why don't you guys give me a perception check? Well, nice roll, Mark. The perception roll is on your second tab down on the right-hand side, Darg. And then there's a little dice on the right-hand side. Just pick that up and then throw it down in the dice tower on the bottom right-hand corner. And that'll roll it for you.
I thought I had. I'm trying to do it again. Yeah,
no problem. Take your time, no rush. Shen, you too. You can do a roll as well, Shen. But the dwarf, Martin, he says, it looks like all of you are quite skilled in fighting anyway. What is it? Just your friend here? Is he that bad with a crossbow? And you can see Omi. He's just
no idea.
zinging crossbow bolts. He's hitting. There's about 10 bolts in the wall behind the target, and not a single bolt in the target right now.
There's a couple spoons out there too that he accidentally shot.
Oh, jeez. Hanging spoons from like maybe a piece of lumber strewn across like a horse or something.
Yep, exactly.
Oh boy, making music with the spoons with arrows now.
I'll yell over, Omi, stop! Stop crossing your legs. You can't. You have to have them apart when you shoot.
Like this.
Oh God. Oh Jesus! Roll attack on Markish. No, I'm just kidding. As the arrow reflects off of one of the spoons, boom, and comes back towards Markish. So you guys notice, God. Markish, you notice that he is actually part of the Order of the Gauntlet, because you see his small little pendant, because he's got like he's got a vest on, and kind of wrapped up in all his piano wire chest hair. You can see his small pendant with the the hand that's clutching the sword.
All right.
He says, "Yes, I'm definitely a connoisseur of knowledge of Ren, and yeah, the book that was taken from me. Although I own a lot of different documents and different journals of his travels. Most of them are in Mantor's, but yeah, I'll tell you anything you need to know. But I just hope that we can get these returned back to me, and that I can get them back into the library, because that's where I usually store them. And when I want to read something, I just usually go over to the library and take it out." But
so I'll ask him, what's special about this? Why would someone want to steal this book of Ren?
Oh, I can't believe you don't know who Ren of the Blade. Oh,
I can't.
He's giving you this look of like almost disgust that you don't even know who he is. And he says, I will go ahead and give you the lowdown on who Ren of the Blade was. He was instrumental in defeating Tyranthrax, which is the bronze dragon that ruled Flan many decades ago, many years ago. And he was one of the ones that actually helped defeat him. Yeah, and then he discovered that there was a pool of radiance located under the keep here in Flan, under Valhavo Keep. And then after the pool of radiance was discovered, it seems like after time it just disappeared. But some even say that, and even he said in certain journals that he had written, that the pool of radiance is still there. It's just that the location has now been hidden and will be hidden with time, because it took him almost the entire rest of his adventuring career to find it. Oh, mercy, I can't believe you don't know who Ren was.
He sounds an important man.
Yes. He was very important to Flan. Tyranthraxus.
What makes this? What my question was is,
yes.
What makes this book special? Why would someone steal this book?
I don't know. There was a lot of the book that I had not read, but this was one of his last journals on when he was actually searching for the pool of radiance. But there was it contained a lot of personal memoirs, and I've owned the book for almost a decade.
Is there any way
Oh, go ahead.
Anyway, I could do like a history check to see if there's anything I would know that he's not, like, to add to it.
Sure, you can do a little bit more, yeah.
And I'll ask him. So the book spoke of Ren's quest, I guess you might say, to locate this pool of radiance, huh?
Yeah. Have you ever played the old Pool of Radiance video game, back one of the first D&D games. Oh yeah. Basically, from what I remember, Ren, I think he was a human. I think he was either a fighter or a paladin or a cavalier, and he worked at one of the taverns in Flan, and he met up with some others, and then basically they slew Tyranthrixus, which was the bronze dragon that, and I believe, yeah, I also think that Ren was also, prior to coming to Flan, I think he was from Waterdeep. I think he was. But I can't, it's been years since I've read about Ren. Well, but there's a lot of good reads. There's a lot of good reads on Ren too. But I know that he had several jobs around Flan. And I think he worked in most of the taverns and the inns and stuff.
Was anyone around asking about this book or seem interested? How did they know that you would have had it?
I don't know. Unless someone was, I don't know, maybe asking around the library, but it's all my personal collection, so it doesn't really belong to the library. I just keep it there so I can have it stored and it will stay in good shape, because they also take care of the books and stuff as well, so.
I'm going to look to Shen and Darg and say, do you see anything I'm missing? Any connection between the last book and this one that I'm just not seeing?
It was a small book. It was maybe about a foot long and maybe about half as wide, and it was bound in a red leather, and it had black lettering on the spine. And it said Ren of the Blade. The Memoirs of Ren of the Blade. But the only thing that, I think he died. I want to say that he died. I think he died in like a duel, but I can't remember. He either died adventuring, but he also, I know that he settled down. I think he married like some wizard or some shit. He definitely married, and I know he had a son. And then he died some years later. I think it was in a duel or on an adventure or something. So
I'm trying to imagine what someone would want with a school about, or a book about magic, a scroll of magic detect, the fireball scroll, and I can only imagine something to do with this Pool of Radiance.
Yeah, that was a kick-ass video game. I played that thing 100 friggin' times.
How long ago was that, man?
Oh, that was
I don't know if I've heard
early 80s. Early 80s.
Oh,
there was
okay.
the Pool of Radiance, and then I believe Curse of the Azure Bonds came out after that, which was another kick-ass game, if I might say.
Wasn't it like 87 or something?
It was definitely early or middle 80s, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was a long time ago. I remember it was like 4 floppy disk, and that was the whole reason why I upgraded on my Tandy 1000 personal computer. That was the whole reason why I upgraded from cassettes to the 1.44 big floppies, was because I couldn't play Pool of Radiance without the drive. So my dad had to like put like a 3rd and 4th mortgage on the house so he could get 2 drives for me. Well, it was 1 at first, and then we got another drive. I got another drive for Christmas. Oh man, it was awesome, dude. I had like the ultimate setup as a kid. It was so fun. Dude, Flight Simulator, Earl Weaver baseball. Dude, it was awesome.
You have more computing power in one of your drives of your USB port that you got in that system now than you had that entire computer.
I still got my Tandy. I still have it. I still got it. It's in the box still. And
bust it out every once in a while like the Super Nintendo?
It still works.
The old NES?
I plugged it in probably about 10 years ago, and it fired right up. It really did. It's the memory in it was 256K. There was no RAM or nothing like that. No, it was just 256, and then my dad got a chip for me to take it from 256 to 512. So that was like, I was like, man, it can't get any better than this.
I'll never use that much.
Yeah, it can't get any better than this, guys. Holy crap!
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, and then when I
what do you say, Dark? Can you notice any connection here? Some book about some old adventure and some sort of wizardry book.
Oh, those are the good days, guys. The great days.
There's a reason that they needed the spell of magic detect too.
Yeah, because they stole those 3 scrolls and the Horn of Blasting, and they took the book. And like I said, this journal had his stories trying to find this pool of radiance.
I feel like it has something to do with this pool of radiance, and these items might have something to do with helping find it.
Yeah.
So we've got one more stop. Maybe that third stop will help connect the dots here.
Martin looks over and he says, "Do you really think it could be something to do with the pool of radiance? Really?"
Given our experiences around this town, it wouldn't be far off. Nothing. I won't rule it out. We'll put it that way.
You can hear some other female screams and stuff, like grunts and whatnot. Off to the side, there's another female student that she's sparring, and he says, that's my beloved daughter Vera, and she's my daughter and my best student. Her mother died when she was very young, and he comes over and he tells her to come over and introduces you to her and stuff as well. And she just says hi, and she goes back over to the sparring dummies and just keeps beating the shit out of them, cutting logs in half and stuff. She looks like a pretty formidable foe, so.
I'd like to go over there with one of those kind of like, "Hey, how you doing?"
She says, "Do you come around here often? I've never seen you here before. What's your name?"
You're hitting on the daughter of a dwarf there, man. Stand back.
I'd look out, lad. She may challenge you to a fight. I don't think you'd want to do that.
As I'm looking around the courtyard and I don't see Omi, or the female, quote unquote female half orc anymore.
Omi's got a couple bolts now in the dummies. He's got about a dozen or so bolts in the target.
I like it. Loosen up, man. Loosen up. Not so tense. Gotta let it go.
Yeah. So your lesson's over there. You've learned a little bit there, Omi, from Grithelda. What's it, Grithelda?
Not so tense. Yeah, easy for you to say.
Every time he says something, it just makes his butt clench.
I like to show off a little bit. Can I try to throw a dagger at his target and see if I can hit it?
Sure. There's targets all around. So just roll an attack roll in the chat, and it will be like a stationary target, so a AC of 10. And you'll just do your ranged attack against that. But do you have any leads? Do you think you know where my Journal of Ren is?
We don't at this point.
Well, I'll give you free lessons forever if you find my journal, and I'll give you all 100 gold apiece if you can find the journal. Man, you guys are racking up some serious cash today.
I will. I'll do the same thing I did to the last guy. I'll spit in my hand and offer it to him and say, "It's a deal."
Oh, he takes that bet. He spits right in your hand. He spits in his hand and he spits in your hand and joins them together, and it's like kind of squishing as that loogie's just kind of grinding in your skin. Disgusting. Sorry.
If I if I did hit the target, I kind of want to make a big scene out of how I managed to so casually hit it when he was struggling so much.
You did hit it. I mean, it lands damn near in the center of the bullseye, just off, just a hair. And he looks over towards you and kind of nods, and then his daughter Vera, she says, "Not bad for a rookie." And then she throws one and knocks your dagger out of the target, as her dagger is now in the exact same hole where your dagger was, as yours just kind of falls on the ground.
I'm going to wander back to Markesh and say, "Hey, Markesh, thank you for the lessons. I think I'm ready to shoot an apple off your head now. Why don't you go stand out there and I'll try?"
No. My insurance doesn't cover that. I don't think that would be a good idea, Mr. Omi.
Oh,
you can do that across the street off my property. But I'll be here watching, though.
Okay, that sounds like a plan.
I'll give you 100 gold. You bring that book back of Ren. That is important. That's almost one of the best pieces of my collection.
I'll let Omi know that the information that we found here, and see if he can link anything together. And also, if not, then we've got one more stop here.
All right.
That is interesting, Markesh. Why don't we make the other stop before we try to draw any conclusions?
I'll look back to Darg and say, "Darg, stop hitting on this man's daughter. Let's go."
And Markesh, is it normal for orcs to have both bottom parts, if you know what I mean?
No, that's not normal at all.
That's what I thought.
Jesus. God, Omi. Jesus Christ. Do orcs usually have both parts? Oh my God.
I'll just roll my eyes at him and get my dagger and follow.
Vera tells you to come back anytime you need some private lessons.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
Not you.
Not you.
Spoon Man. Not you.
No, see, you're not the only one picking up women here, man.
As she looks over towards Darg.
You got Brunhilde raising her hand up and waving at you. I'll give Darg one of the elbows to the ribs and let him know he found a good
one. Nice. All right, so you guys know that Agan Lamorak, he has even though he is a noble, he is well-to-do, he's birthed into money. You know that he has a small store also that's in Pottle Plaza, and this is basically where you can go and have legal documents created and stuff like that. That's the type of establishment that Agan runs.
Well, I don't want to run into the law, but this guy's... I don't deal well with nobles, so I'll suggest one of you guys take the lead on this.
I guess I could talk to a fellow noble.
Let's let our new guy take this.
Yeah, let the new guy. Shen, you still here, bud? Did Shen fall asleep? He hasn't. Yeah, we haven't heard from him in like an hour.
Your sound's not coming through, Shen.
You need to unmute, maybe.
Told you not to follow the yellow brick road.
How about now?
There you go.
We got you.
How
long you been on mute, bud?
Me a while ago.
Work
called me a minute ago, so I muted it.
Well, no problem, man. Welcome back.
Well,
Hope it wasn't anything disastrous like a nuclear reactor meltdown or anything.
Well, it was a successful story, actually, but we'll see how it turns out.
Oh boy, one of those, huh? All right, so you guys want to head over to Agan Lamorak's?
Yeah, I'm gonna let someone else take this one.
All right.
Noble
Historian.
that pissed me off.
Oh, yeah, he's a noble. Yeah, you've had a couple. Yeah, you have, actually. Historian, a noble. You know, he does a lot of things with heraldry, legal documents. He does genealogy traces and stuff like that. And he resides in the noble's quarters. I mean, it's obvious of that. But he has a small little dusty shop, and as you open the door to this small little cramped office, inside you can see a bunch of banners, like heraldic banners that are basically lining the walls. And all kinds of, these banners have all kinds of gaudily decorated family trees and stuff set into the frames. And Landmark, he comes up to you and he says, "Ah, yes, hello there." He says, "Landmark here. I'm very excited to be able to help you out today. What do you need, my friends? Do you need genealogy traces? Do you need any kind of legal documents written for you?
No,
I can do it all."
I would like to have my genealogy trace, but that's not what we're here about today.
Oh, well, anytime you need it, just with a starting fee of about 50 gold, I'll be able to do a lot of research for you and start drawing out one of these beautiful tapestries on the wall for you, with your family. It doesn't look like your tree's only going to have one branch, so it looks like you'll have a pretty healthy tree. Now, the half-orc, on the other hand, it may only have one branch. No offense, Mr. Orc, but anyways, I'm excited. I usually don't get many customers. What can I do you for? Yes.
We're actually here over a matter of a missing book he heard you had an issue with.
Ah. Oh, yes. I know about this missing book. Yeah, it's called The Lords and Lineages of Flan, and it's basically a catalog. And you seem like you don't seem like the Black Fist or the Blackguard. You are the ones that are you undercover? Are you supposed to? You're the ones that are investigating. Before I start divulging legal information that could kind of maybe throw off the case, you're the ones that were actually sent to investigate the missing book? Question mark.
She hired us to see what was going on in the matter.
Oh, Knight, yeah, I talked to Knight Burl. Okay, I was expecting, I'm kind of glad. I was expecting the hoodlums of the Blackguard or the Black Fist to come in here. But anyway, this book that was stolen from me, it's called The Lords and Lineages of Flan, and it's a very detailed and complex catalog of every noble house, much like the houses that I belong to, that has resided in Flan. And it's astonishing because the first entry dates back well over 700 years ago. And this book has been in my family, the noble Lamarck family, for over 2 centuries now. And the book, it was secured and within the drawer of my desk, and it was locked by a very powerful spellcraft spell that that I could activate and deactivate. However, this rune never went off.
Could you show us where this book was stored?
Yes, sir, I can. Please come back into my office. And, you can go back in his office, and it has a bunch of tapestries on the wall, a bunch of large open, tomes all over the place, ink quills, feather pens all over the place. And here it is. Please have a seat. Just be careful that chair was just padded, so please don't poke any of the padding with your scabbards or your weapons of savagery. Yes.
By any chance, could this book be used to trace the lineage of someone like Ren to their modern ancestors?
Oh no, my friend, you talking Ren of the Blade, that vagabond fighter that went around killing dragons? No, he was no noble. He's not in this book. This book of the Lords and Lineages of Flan, it only houses all of the noble families. And unfortunately, that vagabond is not in that book. Or nor will ever be. Ugh, adventurous. Disgusting. So why don't you give me as you're kind of looking at the desk, Darg, give me a perception check. This is fun. I like heavy role-playing games where clues and stuff have to be found. Oh, yeah. You're looking at it, Darg, and you're going kind of scratching your head. You can actually see the rune. Nice tell,
Any of you guys want to
Marcus.
come help me out?
Nice tell. Marcus just sent me
Sure,
a tell
what you
and
looking
says,
at there, Dark?
I want to blow that horn in his damn shop.
I see some kind of rune on here. I can't make out.
Goddamn nobles. Yeah, it looks like the same type of rune, Omi, that was in the other establishment, in the spell shop. Lav, thanks so much for the follow. Welcome, Lav.
This looks very similar to the other rune that we saw over at Aya's.
Thanks for the follow.
Is
Give me
it
a perception
broken?
check. Yeah, give me a perception check. And you can actually give that perception check with advantage also. Because you found the last one. Oh, yeah. Same way this rune was deactivated, and you pointed out to Darg. And there's just a very narrow gap in the center of the room in the rune where it has been deactivated.
Guys, this rune here was deactivated in the same way as the other one we found. I think it's probable that it was the same perp.
I don't know why anybody would want to steal my book. My family has done nothing but help the town of Flan, the city of Flan. How dare these thugs come into my place, invade my privacy, and steal my book? I don't know why anybody would want to steal the book. It has, even though it's rare and old, it holds no value than just a collection of noble families like myself. I don't know why any peasants would want this book. Jesus.
So
It's rather
Lord
ugly.
Landmark, do you have the
Yes.
skill set required to place this rune on here, or did you commission it from someone else?
No, it was just one of the local wizards over at the wizard's shop. Maybe you know an Aya Glenmere?
Ah, yes.
Well, yeah, she is the one that actually put the rune on my desk for me. But yes, my friends, Aya Glenmere, she's the one that actually put the rune on there. As she kind of babbles for a couple seconds.
Did you commission this rune from Aya some time ago, or is it fairly recent?
Oh, it's been there for quite a while, and she's given me this little piece of parchment, and it has like a rune on it, and it activates it and deactivates it. And you just press it up to the rune, but it hasn't been working. And then of course he found that the book was stolen.
Was anything else stolen besides this book?
Just the book, my friends.
You're sure?
I do not trust me. I'm unknowable. I have no reason to lie about anything. I've probably helped out your family. My family's probably helped your family at some point. And Jesus, what do you want from me? Just I'll pay everyone 100 gold apiece to find this book for me. The book is about a foot thick. It's about 2 feet wide. It's actually a pretty large book. It's about 2 foot from top to bottom. It's bound in a tanned hide from a manticore. You do know what a manticore is, do you?
I just stared.
Can I tell if he's telling the truth?
Look here, the Lamok family has long been considered to be one of the most well-respected scholars and families in all of Flan. You can give me
really fucking important.
You can go ahead and give me an insight check. Oh god, his persuasion was horrible. His persuasion was absolutely crap. Yeah, it seems like he's definitely... It seems like he is hiding something for sure. He's definitely hiding something from you guys.
Come on, Lamarck. Give it to us straight.
Wait, this fucker hiding stuff from us?
Marquette, I recommend you persuade a little.
Maybe I can talk to him. Maybe if I pull him to the side and talk to him.
Yeah, I'm getting lit here. This motherfucker.
Give it to us straight here, Hagen.
Please,
my friend,
please,
my half
no vulgarities in my office, please. Please, no vulgarities, Halford.
Can I just pull him to the side and just be like, look, noble to noble, what are you trying to hide from me?
Oh, yes, Mr. Darganoth, is your family hailing from Flan? Are you in this book as well? Are you in the book, my friend? In the noble book? Oh, yes.
I'll go ahead and show him my pedigree just to let him know that I am, in fact, a noble as well.
Why do you have such heathen friends that you are acquaintanced with, my friend? Surely, being of noble descent, are they your henchmen? Are they your employees?
I just heard a lot of great stories about them, and I wanted to join in. So it's a little boring being a noble day to day.
So give me as all of you guys are rasping this dude, why don't you guys all give me a charisma check, or if you have persuasion or intimidation, you can also add those checks in too.
I'm doing this with inspiration.
With inspiration. Nice. Oh, yeah. All of you guys, except for Shen, he's actually intimidated. He's actually intimidated by everybody except for Shen. And as you have him pulled aside, he tells you a little story. And you can also see that he has a pendant as you're talking to him, Darganoth, and he's actually part of the Lord's Alliance faction. So the story that he tells you, he tells you that he is petrified. And with this book being gone, he says, noble to noble here, my friend. I do have a story. Please shoo away, half-orc. Shoo away, vagabond. But I do have a story to tell you. I'm actually quite terrified of the truth coming out. But if the truth comes out, I'm afraid that I would lose my lifestyle that I have grown quite accustomed to. And my great-great-grandfather made a couple of... And this is between you and I, my friend. This is between... Do I have your word?
You have my word.
Okay. My grandfather, my great-great-grandfather, he made a couple of clever forgeries in the lords and lineages of Flan some time ago, where it has allowed my family to claim descent from an already dead line that was the Lamarck line. We weren't the Lamarcks, but we became the Lamarcks. And of course, we have no contest to claim, and we have no legitimacy to claim this. And if word was to get out, we would lose everything. And I can't do that for myself and for the rest of my family. And this book is it will basically make everything come out into the open if this is published in any way or anything like that, and that just possibly can't happen. So I'm willing to pay you, my friend, my new noble friend, noble to noble here. Well, not really. I'm not really noble, but anyways, I'm willing to give you 500 gold to keep this between you and I. And of course, if you wish to split it with your vagabond friends, you can do that as well. But I just can't let I need this book back. You can destroy it if you want to. You can take the book and destroy it or give it back to me, but word cannot get out that we are not the actual line of the Lamarcks. It was dead long before we claimed the name.
Can you tell me anything about this family you took over?
I have no information. That was something that my great-great-grandfather did many years ago. But like I said, I'll double the reward of anybody else as well, and I'll give you 500 gold. You can make a lot of money here, Mr. Darganoth, noble Darganoth of Flan. The stories will be told of your heroic tales. I will weave and I will scribe them, and you'll be well known in Flan. If you just keep this little secret between you and I.
I think I could do this. If you could help me in the future.
I would be more than happy to owe you a secret. Well, I would actually owe you a favor as well. And I will also hold any secret for you, too. Are you a true noble, or are those fake documents? Come clean now.
I'm a true noble, but maybe you could help me raise to a higher status of noble.
That's possible. I might be able to do that for you. It could take some time, but it's possible. Anything is possible. With enough coin, anything can happen.
Really? Do you know of anyone who would have interest in this book?
I have no clue. I don't know
Maybe
why
you
it
have
would
an
be
enemy?
sold. I don't have no enemies that I know of. That's the whole, and believe me, noble Darganoth, I would tell you if I had an enemy. Like I said, word of this ruse cannot get out at all.
Hey, Dave, I sent you a text.
Yeah, I'm just reading it now.
Okay.
So as they're kind of going back and forth, you use your wand of magic detection kind of inconspicuously.
Oh.
There's a couple of scrolls lying around that light up, probably some type of magical scroll. There's a spell book. Nothing of real significance.
Yeah, I have no intention of actually keeping them. I want to destroy some shit this guy got.
Porta blasting
there's
incoming.
an expensive figurine. If there is
Sure, there's some pieces of art in there, yeah.
Just something to get under the skin of this prick.
Yeah, there's some beautiful jade and marble statues of different creatures, like thrycreens and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as they're not, they're not, it's not like me hauling out a 5-foot statue or something. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just gonna like accidentally bump into it and topple over and break and smash all over the place.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I love it. You do it. There's actually, all these, he's sort of got like these as you walk into, it's not a very big place. It's probably about, I would say, it's very narrow. So it's probably about 40 feet long, 30 foot of it being an open, sort of like a gallery type of open area where all the tapestries are lined up. And in the middle of this long, narrow, shop, there's 2 rows of these, like Roman columns, and on the top of these columns, which are about 4 feet tall, I'd say they're about 4 feet tall. Each one of these has like a different creature, like marble. There's like a minotaur. There's a couple of thrycreens, just different monsters. A couple of dragons reared back, and you just knock into one, and he tells you, "Oh, that's good. That should come out of the money that I'm going to be paying you, half-orc. I cannot believe that you just run around like a bull in my china shop, just destroying things. Yeah, how dare you? How dare you?
I'll pull a small object out of my my pack. I sent you another tail, and just say, "Well, this will work just as well."
What in the hell are you putting a spoon on that column for? You need to replace that. How dare you? That statue is nearly priceless. He looks over back towards you, Darganath, and he goes, I cannot believe the company that you travel with. That orc has to pay for that statue now. That's been in my family for 200 years.
My bad. I'll just see myself out.
Isn't that one of my spoons, Marcus?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just walking out.
Shin follows Markesh.
Everybody's knocking shit over as they walk out. Oh God!
Yeah, I punch a glass out of the door. Yeah.
It says, surely, Darganath, he says, surely they've done this on purpose, and these wretched vagabonds need to pay for these statues. I'm going to have to get the black... Actually, now that I think about it, I may just overlook this. But please, Darganath, keep your friends out of my shop.
I'll make sure they don't come in again.
I am willing to overlook this. And like I said, my newfound friend, my newfound best friend, yeah. I'll give you the 500 gold. Plus I'll double the rewards of all of the other money that you're going to be getting, probably in the cutthroat way that you beautiful adventurers work. And he sticks his hand out to shake your hand. Do we have a deal, my friend?
I'll shake his hand.
All right. Very good.
I'll even hold my spit for this one.
Thank you for not spitting in to your hand, my friend. Okay. So you guys have visited all three places and the library. Wow, that's 4 encounters so far. 4 role-playing encounters. I like that. Wow. We're trucking along. So what do you guys think?
Everything else seemed to have some kind of connection, but I can't see what this last book has.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it does give a bit of a history of the noble houses, and I'm assuming, I mean, maybe the nobility had something to do with this, knowing where this pool of radiance is, or maybe what noble house was in charge of it. Maybe, I don't know.
But even if we can connect all
house
the
is located at.
Well, we know what they look like, and we know kind of the gist about what they contain. I just don't know how we're going to actually find them. Where we start from here to find them. Maybe we could find a wizard that might know how to cast locate object or something of that sort.
Or we could question a little more the one who actually put the runes on all the books for safekeeping.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
She was in charge of doing these runes.
Eva, it is.
Oh.
Aya.
Where? Aya? Oh, Glenmere? Yeah. All right. So you guys want to go back to Aya? I like that. Sounds. You guys are thinking pretty hard on this. I like this. All right. So as you guys are cutting through a couple of back alleys and stuff through Pottle Plaza, you know, there's a hive of activity all around you. Hundreds of people milling about. And just as you guys round a corner, an elf steps out from the mouth of another alley, and he stops in the street in front of you. And as you guys get a little bit closer to him, he kind of puts his hand up, and he says, "Aye, mates, the welcomers send their regards and have some information that you may find useful. why don't you guys follow me? And he says, follow me, and looks like he has a sort of like a little worried look as he ducks back around into the alley.
Have you guys interacted with the thieves here before?
Yes, we have. We saved a couple of